This video is being shown to you under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, education, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Smash that like button. Let's go. What's up? What's up? What's up? It is your favorite breast cancer survivor. I'm Survivor Speaks, coming to you with a live video. So, as we know, as everyone should know, we were on verdict watch in the P. Diddy trial. But baby, in true Diddy fashion, even though this is nothing to do with him, I don't think at all. That's not what I'm saying. That one of the jurors decided, there was a note that came out from the jury that decided stated that one of the jurors was not deliberating according to the law. Hey, Just Mona, how are you? Thank you so much for coming. So one of the jurors was decided that I don't want to follow the law. I don't care what y'all say. I want to deliberate based on my feelings. Excuse me, church finger up. Oh, wait, you cannot do that. So I was, I did a little quick live, but I wasn't home, wasn't home in the studio or whatever. And you just can't do that. And I think that, they're up a little, shaken. They're a little shaken because the elementary way in which the law was explained to the jurors. So listen, I think that because of the witness tampering and stuff like that, like the judge, was making safeguards to be sure that the jury understood, right? I don't understand why people are mad because the judge was reading the law, right? The judge is reading the law and explaining it in the way that the jury knows, what applies to a guilty or not guilty verdict. But, you have people that are just starstruck, right? And so they just want, oh, no, he learned his lesson. Cassie got 30 million, 20 million from him, 10 million from that, from the, the hotel, as she should. My thing is, I don't understand. Even, these men that you feel strongly about whatever, but when you ask the question, and what if that was your daughter? What if that was your aunt? What if that was your sister? What if that was your mother? Now, y'all already know that I'm conflicted when it comes to Jane. Okay? Jane, was out here gold digging in these streets, and she signed up for this. And my stance is not going to change. But according to the law, at some point, Jane became a victim. And I do understand that. According to the law, Jane became a victim. And that's just, according to the law. Yeah, I even said it, and my mother always told me, you don't want nobody to put their hands on you, don't put your hands on them. In Jane's case, Jane hit Diddy first. He never hit her until she hit him first. But the thing is, you got that off. You got it off. Yeah, exactly. I'm just Mona. Yes, exactly right. So here is the thing. When we look at this case, right? When we look at old videos now, you go back and you look at these videos now, knowing what you're like, well, damn. Well, it wasn't obvious to us, but now that we know, I'm looking at this shit. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Even when Cassie was on the red carpet with Diddy one time, one of the Met Galas, I believe. Look at the video now and you can see the bruises. I was like, oh, shield. We did not know. Then there is a video. I'm going to keep talking about this video. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. They were on vacation, but somebody was just filming Diddy. He was outside sitting. It was dark. He was sitting on this lawn chair. And he was like, oh, I got to put some baby oil on my feet. He said, this is my ugly foot, his right one. That's the foot that he kicked the women with. That's the foot that he kicked down the doors with. Child, I said, what? Not you've been playing in our face all these years. Yes. So I think it's very, very, disturbing. Even the videos where you see Cassie, this is a thing, y'all, too. This is the thing, right? So on some of their vacation videos, Cassie is there, right? But you'll see them recording a video. She's nowhere in the video, right? And then you'll see her come out later because it was said that she couldn't come out until Diddy let her out or told her that she could. And that was testified to. Like, who do they think he is? I don't know if anybody missed that testimony where Capricorn Clark testified and said that it was her, Laura London, Diddy, and it was one other person, I forget. Was it Mia? It might have been Mia. Cassie was in the room. And he said, y'all bees will never get a man like me. Let me show you why. Cassie, get your out here. Stand. Turn around. Bend down. Stand up. Go get that over there. Now get the fuck out of here. Diddy was watching too much coming to America. Walk like a dog. Walk like a big dog. Walk like a little dog. He was watching too much of that shit. And that's what he did to Cassie. How degrading. And what people are failing to realize that every day for the rest of her life, she's going to always relive these moments. The girl has been having issues since she really departed from, what's up, AOBD? Or should I say, your favorite painter. Look, AOBD. Listen, AOBD. Why you ain't telling me that y'all had an association? Why you ain't telling me that the Swingers Club had an association, child? The Swingers Club done came out and denounced Diddy. They said that everything that goes on in the swinger lifestyle is consensual. They don't like the way that they've applied the swinger lifestyle to this trial. That is not what they do. Everything is consensual. If not, then they can't be. Well, no, you that ain't even you. That's not even you. I'm sorry. That's different, right? Let me know, AOBD. Is that different, the BDSM and the swingers life, or it's just like knocking around the same? I'm trying to figure it out. But the Swingers Association said they got rules and regulations. And if it's not consensual, or if they sense that somebody is forcing somebody into this life, they will have them happily exit stage left. You can't come up in here because we got rules and we got swinger rules and swinger regulations. I said, well, oh God, I'll be up. What? Child. So Dave denounced him just like Costco had to come out and put up a statement because of this Diddy trial. Listen, talk about he orders in bulk from Costco. Costco had put up a statement when they first said that, hey, we don't even sell Johnson & Johnson baby oil by the case. So Costco, he did not buy that from Costco. Too bad they can't bring these things and enter into the court docs because he's lying. It's different, but on both sides, it has to be consensual. I know that. I knew about the BDSM now. I told you the lady, they did a whole panel. She came up. I told you. So that's how I knew about what was going on, but I just wanted to okay, so do y'all have a BDSM association? Because the Swingers Club said they got a Swingers Association. That's all I want to know. That's the last question I'm going to ask you, AOBD. I'm just curious. Shit. Inquiry minds want to know. And I thank you for educating us in the, in the chat and stuff, for a couple of days, and saying how it could, be borderline against the law. But when it's consensual, I guess it's consensual. You know what it is? If he had just been taking Cassie on vacation, right? Or taking her across, state lines, right? Buying her gift, that's not where the law was broken at. The law is broke because he hired these male paid workers to have sex with Cassie and Jane, and who else knows. They said, allegedly that, when Kim was with him, she was part of that. So I'm wondering if Miss Sophisticated Sarah, right? Because, all right, so Kim did speak about this, y'all. So Kim said that, the twins and Chance are the same age, a difference of some months. And he was with Kim at the time, right? So, Kim said she would have rather learned from, the woman. I forgot which one. She may have said, God dang, y'all know Chemo Fog Brain done kicked in for always. What's going up, girl? We got a special announcement. I was waiting for you, and I know that Allie is with the baby right now, but she'll be on. But Kim said that, I forgot who she found out from, and she would rather have found out from the other party. So, like, that already confirms that maybe they wasn't having a I don't know what he called. Excuse me. I don't know what he called. Excuse me, y'all. I don't know what he called them when he was doing this with Kim. I don't know. But they were pregnant at the same time. I'm just, was they in I think they're, by a couple months, they're a different age, something like that. The twins and Chance. Is there a chance that he had y'all lined up in because they say he like to book a room sometime. Just going from room to room, spreading whatever he's spreading. And they got the nerve to get mad when these women ask to use a condom. Golly be today. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't care about the Chanel bag. I don't care about the Bottega bag. I don't care about a Christian Louboutin. I bought my own. I got a brand new pair of Christian Louboutins. I had them on for all of 15 minutes. Listen, I can't even wear high heel shoes no more. I bought my own Christian Louboutins, my own bag. Listen, if you can't afford to buy this stuff yourself, then you shouldn't be in it. Now, let's get back to Jane. I'm very conflicted when it comes to Jane. Anybody that has been here watching us covering the Diddy trial, you know that I'm very conflicted when it comes to Jane. Yeah, they're a couple months apart. Listen. For somebody that had a Tootsie Roll, you're showing up throwing it around, but I did see in the interview that he said he wanted 10 kids, okay? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He got 6 because that a 7th child, Quincy, that is Albie Short. That's Albie Short's son, okay? Let's stop it. Stop it. You got him out here looking, you looking kind of strange. You out here looking kind of strange. And I don't know how Quincy sits, because it was brought out in this trial that he had your mama freaking off. It was brought out in this trial. I would never show up another day at trial for him. Now, you could come and support your sisters, because I don't even think, I want to know who his PR people are. I want to know who his PR people are that thought it was a smart idea to have them kids sit there and have to listen to that filth while they did closing arguments. They know that the government had to get up here and say what it is, and they should have known that it was coming. And whoever, that one twin could not hold it till she got in the van the first day of the prosecution, the government prosecution, because it's not the state. There's this old guy, 80 years old. He's a content creator. He said, you know what? They need to stop saying the state. It's the government. But yeah, prosecutors, government. So on the first day of closing arguments for the prosecution, one of the twins couldn't hold it, walking to this truck and was crying. I don't think it had anything to do with, because they don't know whether the father is going to be found guilty or not guilty at this point. It was from having to sit there through all of that filth and listen to the things that they're alleging that your father did. And they need to know that most of the government case, they have proof of this from Diddy's mouth itself. He didn't have to testify because he testified through all the voice notes, the voice messages, everything that was left, his text messages. He did himself in. So the only way, this juror that just was refusing out, what's up, Rebecca Cry? Those girls really should not have been there. When I shared a short, and I said, my soul cries out for these girls. And somebody wanted to question me, how could you say that and they're rich? I said my soul cries out for them. I didn't specify, so I had to make it specific. Listen, no, my soul cries out to his daughters, okay? Because the boys, I even feel a little sympathy for them, right? A little sympathy for them. And just for them having to face this alone, and your son, both your sons now, have cases on them. Lil Justin came out the other day. They suing Justin and the daddy. Lawsuit, and all they have to do to corroborate this girl's story is to look at the flight records. Now, and you know what the sad thing is? I heard this before. I don't know if they didn't say it in the context of how it came out in the court docs, or whatever. But they were saying that Justin is getting young girls, he's out here with his swag, getting girls and bringing them back to the house. And so this girl said that they were saying that they can make her a star. She met him on Snapchat. He flew out. All they got to do is go to the records. And this was in 2017. And then she said she knew that Diddy was there, child, in a mask. We know he likes to wear the burqa from. And I want, you know what? I know. I'm being real serious when I say this to y'all. Things may come out like it's a joke, but when it, I believe in what I believe in, but I never, disregard what other people believe in, unless you're atheist. My soul can't get with that, right? So, but for him to have Fahim on his security team, and then be mocking what he believes in a freak off is just crazy. Diddy is a whole different type of demon. You had on the Muslim burqa or hijab, if you will, and then you naked, nothing else on. He just out here free Tootsie rolling in the corner. And if anybody knows, like any Muslims, like that is very important to them, because that's part of a woman being modest and not showing her hair and everything. That's part of what they believe in. But for you to be in a FO, in one of those, and no clothes on nowhere else. And Fahim, you was in the court the other day. that should have bothered you greatly, but you're going to be in the courtroom again, okay? I'm just telling y'all. I'm telling you that the government was laying out their case after this is over. KK, Fahim, D-Rock, stop doing these interviews because I understand you're trying to get your bread up. But what did you listen to the testimony? Did you listen to the closing statements the first day? Bruh, I was shocked because I'm just seeing D-Rock in these interviews. And I'm like, oh, wow. But we didn't look and we didn't think. We didn't think because, they kept saying the security guard, I want to say. I don't think they ever put D-Rock. I don't remember. I don't have to go back. Not D-Rock. I mean, Roger Bonds. Y'all, excuse me. Well, D-Rock is the number one of the main, okay? Roger Bonds is who I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Correction. Roger Bonds. Roger is out here doing interviews, and I'm like, wow, he couldn't take it, so he left. Even though he went to work for Ciroc, he couldn't take it, so he left, right? And then, boom, here they bringing Roger out here during closing. And Roger, I hate to say it to you, I don't know how much, if they'll grant you immunity if you come into the court and testify against the rest of them. I don't know, but you were the one that after he stomped on Cassie's face, you chased her and brought her back and made her stay. You didn't tell all this in these interviews, Roger. You made her say, and you were the security. I heard somebody say D-Rock the other day. No. According to the government, Roger Bonds is the one that checked Cassie into the London hotel and checked on her. Remember, he just told the part of the story where he was going to check on her and make sure that she was all right. But what he didn't say that was he's the one that brought her there, after, chasing and bringing her back because she was trying to run away. She wanted to go home. That is considered kidnapping. The girl wanted to go home, and because Diddy didn't want her parents to see her like that, that he disfigured her face, Roger Bond, you went and got her, brought her back, told her to stay put, checked her into the hotel. You brought her soup, whatever else she needed, until she healed. Roger, I liked you, but you're going down. That's what all I know is, I'm telling y'all, all I know, the next government case is going to be KK, Christina Quorum, Fahim, Roger Bonds, and what is the fourth one name that they said is in the D-Rock. Yes, D-Rock. Let me go on over here and make sure that they don't have no verdict. I'm just tell you that they were having trouble with juror number 25. Juror number 25 decided that he did not want to apply the law as the judge instructed him to. So there was this big thing about juror number 5. Let's just go over here. Let me just pull it up. My daughter, what is she doing? Let me just pull it up here. Child, because this is too much. Okay, so that's why she's only heard. Let me go over here to shout out to Inner City Press over on X. Let me see what he got going on here. Oh wow. So 2 minutes ago, Inner City Press wrote, of all the things possible, I am willing to go out on a limb and the Puffy's attorneys are, I'm gonna read that in a minute for always. So Puffy's attorneys about Vlad, because I'm sick of Vlad, okay? Vlad. I believe Roger Bond said right. Yeah. Either he's either on a lot of you know what, he's more on Vlad than did he do an interview, Roger Bonds, on the Art of Dialogue? He's Vlad probably shortchanging them, having them come over there all the times. So Inner City Press says that of all the things possible, so apparently Puffy's what is he, Puffy today? I don't know. Sean John. He's Sean John. P Daddy. P Diddy. Puff Daddy. Diddy. Brother Love. Pop. That's what he wanted Cassie to call him, because that's what what she called her grandfather. Sick. Poppy, according to Young Miami, after awards, when he didn't even thank her, he don't thank Kim and Cassie, and they ain't even with him no more. Yeah. Poppy. And my name for him is Love on top, 2C on the bottom. Okay. So it looks like that the defense attorneys are looking at some type of paper that came out from the jury room, and somebody said it's probably a plea deal. And Inner City Press is saying that of all the things possible, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that a plea deal is not one of them. Combs' lawyers have been staring at a single page, presumably a jury note. It has not been read out. When it is, he's going to report it. Listen, one thing I am going to say, this judge has been very fair. He's been unbiased and fair. He's just reading out the law. So for all the airheads that don't understand that, he's reading the law, and he has to make sure that the jury understands the law so that they will apply it to this case correctly. Then shame on you. You should have went and got your law license. You should have went, and even because what is the people that's not exactly a lawyer, you should have just a paralegal, something. But stop it with all, because you starstruck. This is wrong. It needs to be stopped. This is wrong on all levels, and it does need to be stopped. Now, this is the thing that, Diddy has to kick himself for. This is the thing. If Diddy would have stopped at least for 5 years, the statute of limitations would have ran out. However, the government does not tell you, or your attorney, or anybody else except those in the government, when they are investigating you. I just learned that today. Learn something, people. Instead of trying to fight the law and saying what is not, actually try to learn something, because things that are happening every day, people have a problem with understanding that it's against the law. People don't know that every day women get raped in marriages. You can say no, and no means no. If your husband decides that he wants to take it, and you feel like you want to go and press charges, different strokes for different folks. It is the law, though. We know it happens. Let me just put y'all know how it goes. Let me just put so let's see. Y'all know how that go. Listen. So the judge is going to 5:00 every day. So Allie is here. Thank you. So thank you all. So shout out, y'all. You know what? I ain't even make a. Oh no, I do got something, y'all. Hold on. Before we get into that, let's get into this really quick. I forgot, girl, you're doing too much, and you did. Indeed. Yes, you did. That's not it, but that's not it. All right, hold on a minute. Hold on. Well, I'd like to say thank you to all of you that made this possible. Hold on, let me get up the little thing. I forgot I made this, but I didn't share it on here because I did it off my phone real quick. All right, let's download it. So let me do I have a drum roll, please? You know what? I gotta update my I just don't be having time because y'all know what's going on. Y'all know that's just ongoing emergency and all that. Yes. So and you know what's so crazy? I was on here earlier and did not and missed this whole thing, y'all. I missed it, and afterwards I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, we did that. All right, let me bring it over here really quick, and then we're gonna go into the city thing over here. Hold on. Look, y'all. Let me just show y'all. I'm gonna just put something up here for y'all to take it while I'm doing what I'm doing. Ciao. But listen, I just love the way the prosecution just, outed Diddy, and it was just crazy. I'm like, y'all was asking for it, and that is what happened. That is what happened. that is what that is what happened. He liked to wear wigs, don't he? He likes to wear wigs, don't he? So hold on, y'all. Okay. Who did that? All right, y'all. What? Because that's it. Leave me alone, please. All right. I saw it already. Thank you, everyone, to all our new subscribers and to all of our continued subscribers. Survivor Speaks and the Survivor Nation welcomes you all. And we like to thank you for finally getting us to our 4K goal. We are growing. We are 4K strong. And thank you. I don't know what is our next milestone. What is it, 4,500, or are we just going to go straight to the 5K? I don't know, but thank all of you. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We did it. Teamwork makes the dream work. Thank you. So, yes. Yeah, we did. Diddy with the good. Listen, Diddy had Mona. Diddy has that's a straight yaki wavy. That's what that is. Straight yaki. That's a straight yaki wavy. That's the wavy yaki. I think that is what it is. Ciao. The internet has to be stopped. So, all right. So let's look here. They came in. He explained. I'm not gonna go. Maybe I should. Not gonna go all into it, but I just want to read some of how the judge broke down some of these what am I trying to say? Oh dear. Hey, Survivor Speaks. So the judge did break down some of the, and I want to go over those briefly so that you guys can definitely see that how he broke it down in layman's terms so they can apply it to the law correctly. This is the most previous. Is this? How is this? Okay. So he said, I'll read the charge. It's long, but I'll try to make it interesting. We don't want to get, listen. The evidence is the testimony, the answers, and the exhibits. Arguments are not evidence. So closing arguments, all of that male chauvinistic stuff that was spewed out of, what is that, Agnefilo's mouth, is not evidence. He was doing his job, but he went too far, I believe. So, and you know what? If there were a lot of people like that were Team Diddy that were saying, they were saying that, he started off great, but he kind of went too dang on far, and they were turned off by it. So, but we still, that is in the court of public opinion, those 12 jurors matter. And yeah, it was very, very, you could have muddied the waters without saying a lot of the things that you said. Because you're like, oh, well, he bought them gifts. He bought money, paid for apartments, trips. Oh, everything came with that's what came with it. But we can look at this two ways, right? Well, we know that Jane, keeping a roof over her head had become like a thing every time she said, I don't want to do these nights no more. She said, I don't want to do, like they have evidence that she said before the Cassie lawsuit dropped, she didn't want to do these Wild King nights anymore. And he coerced her into it. It's coercion, and it's a whole bunch of stuff. He just put himself in a hole. So the people can say, which I don't understand. People can say all they want. Oh, he was, such a black, and the black don't have nothing to do with it. How about all the black people that he messed over? It's a lot of, people working at the Wally Mart and stuff like that, because he's still getting their residuals from what, they did. He robbed people. And the other day, I was looking at a video and I was like, really? So this was right after Biggie died. They wanted to put Biggie on the Rolling Stone cover. Was it Rolling Stone? Yeah. And they said, Diddy said, hell no, I got an album coming out. I'm going to put me on the cover. And he was on the cover. Now, this now legend, because he's a legend in his own right. He was ugly, but people was addicted to, he had rap skills for real. No mumble rap in here. You can understand what he said. And it was just so, just everything, the beats and stuff and everything that, using the old tracks, and it was just ingenious. But Puffy, you couldn't do that without Biggie on the track. So, it makes you think, if you was doing this right after he was unalive, did you really have something to do with it? Because he was leaving. Everybody knew he was leaving, did he? That's why Kirk Burris is working as a person that parks cars right now. It's sick. It's sick. So let's look. The judge says, you are the sole and exclusive arbiters of the facts. What is a reasonable doubt? It's based on your common sense after carefully weighing all the evidence. You just weigh each witness's credibility, the truth, and importance of their testimony. Size him or her up. I don't like that, Judge. You must decide. Sean Combs has been formally charged in an indictment. An indictment is not evidence. Count 1. Charges from 2004 to 2024. Child, had he just took a break for 5 years somewhere, the statute of limitations would have ran out. But as we know, he's been running amok for 20 whole years. No breaks. Listen. So 2024, a racketeering enterprise, count 2, from 2009 to 2018. 18, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years. Hold on now. Ex-trafficking. Okay. Ex-trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. Count 3, from 2009 to 2018. Transporting individuals, including but not limited to Ventura, for purposes of prostitution. Shout out to for always for that word. So, count 4, from 2019 to 2024. You see this? He didn't even have a break. From 2018, he jumps right on the Jane 2019. Regardless as to how we are conflicted, because Survivor Speaks is conflicted. I got every right to be. She is a gold digging. She is a whole gold digging. Yeah, she's been around. Okay. She wasn't even with 50 that long, y'all. Oh, child. Censor. Excuse me. Count three from 2009 to 2018, transporting individuals, including but not limited to Ventura. Oh, we did that. Okay, I had to hurry up and get off of what I said. You need 50 cent. Oh, okay. My daughter needed 50 cent. Count four from 2019 to 2024, ex trafficking of Jane. Count five from 2019 to 2024, transporting individuals, including but not limited to Jane, for purpose of peacestitution. Each court is separate. For attempt, the U.S. must show intent in a substantial step taking. Which attempt did they leave in there? Taken. Okay, because I thought they removed all of the attempts, or maybe they just removed the two. So mere intention does not amount to an attempt. Aiding and abetting means knowingly doing some act to aid or encourage, okay, a crime to be committed. For RICO, the U.S. must prove that from 2004 to 2024, there was an agreement between two or more, I think it should say, individuals for a racketeer enterprise that impacted interstate commerce, that the defendant joined and committed at least two predicate acts. Now, hey, Nessa, what's going on? Thank you so much for stopping by, Nessa. We hit our 4K goal today. Thank you all. Love you all. Thank you so much. So what people are laughing at, and Diddy's attorney made a big joke about, is the fact that he's charged with, I thought it was a mistake. Remember, I was reading the other day and I said, he put Astroglide here. Astroglide? I said, oh, in the city must have been, have Astroglide in his head. But it wasn't making sense to me. Well, when they talk about here, that the enterprise that impacted the interstate commerce, the fact that the Astroglide was used as part of the crime, they are saying that it impacts in interstate commerce, and that is why it is mentioned. They're charging him with transporting that too. Listen, and we may think it's foolish, but these people know exactly what they're talking about. Come, check. I didn't drop that in there, so I can't even show y'all, child. It went from being hot as hell to it's pouring down raining now. So the U.S. must prove a mutual understanding to cooperate. You may infer its existence from the circumstances of this case. Actions may speak louder than words. You may consider the acts of all of those you find to be participants. If you find that the Combs enterprise existed, you must find whether it continued in a substantially similar form from 2004 to 2024. Now, who's gonna say they ain't got it? Who's gonna say that who is going to say that they didn't have it? Did he made him a big mistake when he involved all of his security, Christina Coram, his assistants, and these male-paid workers? They don't want to be known as prostitutes, but he paid you. That's what you are. You are a prostitute. So, so for Diddy's attorney, Agnifilo, to try to downplay in his closing argument, saying that they weren't paying for slacks, they were paying for these male paid workers' time. So we're calling relations time now, sir. Go sit down in your closing statement, because you sound stupid. And I know that he was just doing that to raise reasonable doubt, but at the same time, he was turning some people off. Hopefully, he was turning people off that were sitting on the jury. Okay, so the U.S. alleges 8 predicate. It's supposed to be 8 predicate. He got predicted. Kidnapping, arson, bribery. Bribery, check already done. I don't even need to explain that anymore. As a matter of fact, they have 2 cases of bribery, right? because the first security guard that testified, who is now a police officer, said that Diddy took out a stack of money when he came to the hospital the day at the Intercontinental Hotel, and he told him, no, I don't want any of your money. That is still considered a bribe, even though he didn't take it. That's considered a bribe. And now this man is a sworn law enforcement officer. And you also have to look at the fact that after the incident, Diddy reached out to the Intercontinental Hotel. Officer Flores was the assistant director still when they reached out to them after sending KK, Christina Coram, come down here. Come down here, Christina. I'm going to need a Christina Coram paddle. Because, baby, you was doing the most for Diddy. That's why in closing they said you were his right brain. Yes. Christina Coram, come down here. You done took your little funky ass over there to that Intercontinental Hotel telling them that you wanted to see the footage. Security Officer Garcia said, I can't show you the footage. But let me tell you something off the record. It's bad. So carry your little funky tail out of here and go and tell Diddy that. So what did they do? They call now with Puffy on the phone. He's telling him, I cannot get any tape. So what do they do? And this spooked him a little bit. They call him on his personal cell phone. He didn't give nobody his number. Baby love mother. Because I said, wait a minute, she is a cybersecurity executive. What? Why did he slept with the cybersecurity executive and had a bambino with her? Child, she know how to do all kinds of stuff out here and hack into all types of systems and everything, child. So anyway, getting back to, they asked you $50K, we'll pay for it, right? You offered $100 once you were able to get 2 additional IDs with, along with the security officer Garcia for the tape. But Officer Flores, who was the assistant director at the time, was like, nah, leave me out of that. So that's the second time he turned down a bribe. And why we can believe him that you bribed him the first time, because he didn't let you bribe him. He didn't want to be a part of your bribe for the second time. The person that he reported to had the bright idea to say, give me $50K. And you doubled it and gave them $100K. But I didn't want none of your dirty money. So this is why common sense, he's saying use common sense, that we can believe Officer Flores when he said that you pulled out a stack of money and what you was trying, it was for a bribe. Child. So anyway, they got that, and it says witness tampering. Child, they got that on record. They got that on record, on document. Like, they can say whatever they want to say about how he called Jane and he was trying to tell Jane, no, you enjoyed the Wild King. Let me put my Diddy voice on.
Now, Jane, you enjoyed the Wild King, not just about all of it. And some of it was your idea, Jane.
And she's like, cut him off, like, no, he would cut her off. Like, no. I was worried about, even if she's not, like, listen, she could be truthful, she could be being truthful, she could not be being truthful. Now, I was trying to keep a roof over my head. Child, you are a professional gold digger, aka LSW. And I'm just telling you, just go on and join a brothel down there in Nevada where it's legal. Because according to, y'all, guess who she used to, child. So she used to go with D. Ray. Y'all know the comedian D. Ray? Child, the lady was dealing with D. Ray. And guess what D. Ray said? Yeah, child. I said, what? So I think she was taking all these pictures with her child's father. I'll just say it like that. No, I don't have 50 cents. She keep asking me for 50 cents. So she she was taking these pictures of, these love movies. D. Ray, he a comedian. They said you can't. He said, not you that cute, but you got a bumpy child. Somebody take his devices. And that was before she was in messing with Daddy. So everything you show on live is everything you put up is all smooth, body nice, very pretty woman. I never take that. Yes for always, D. Ray. Yeah, inner city law. Yeah, inner city press. Yes, and he's in the courtroom, so that's why. Yeah, he's in the courtroom, and so is Jules. I believe she's in the courtroom now. Somebody, I don't know. Somebody was saying, but anyway, yes, D. Ray. Yeah, and D. Ray had put up, because it was a lot of internet stuff going on, and somebody put it all together in a video, and I was like, oh shoot, they know they got to be fast when people putting up stuff before they take it down. You got to be quick. It's people that's waiting to screenshot. I got it. You mean you take it down? I got it. Shout out to Allie for the 5. Shout out to Baby Allie. Thank you so much, Baby Allie. Thank you so much, Allie, for always being here. Hug and kiss our baby Allie for us. Baby A, not Baby Allie, Baby A. And tell her I said thank you. So, yes, somebody put together a very good video the other day. And I was like, would you look at here? Would you look at here? You drop some survivor bucks in the chat if you are a member over here for Baby A. For the 5. Thank you. Would you look at here? I said, would you look at here, child? But D. Ray said, yeah. Yeah, son, you standing up there with a bumpy. Y'all know what the bumpy means. Y'all know the perpetrators, the perps. Take the P off, put the H on the front. All right, y'all. So it says for tampering forced labor. They got that with what's her name? See, this is why his HR person did not get on the stand. Remember, she was supposed to get on the stand? Because they could corroborate with Capricorn Clark, because she got the figures that she got, the money that she was owed from HR. And when they were saying that lady was supposedly coming on to testify, and they must have thought about, like, I don't think that's a good idea. It's not a good idea or a good look that nobody came to testify on his behalf. That's not a good look at all. You couldn't even get your grandmother's friend or somebody that's still alive. Not my Sean. Not my little Sean. People carry the groceries and tell me to keep my money. Not my Sean. You couldn't get nobody to step out here in these streets and say, he's not a monster. No, he's not. I can't. He probably could have, but then they will be subject to cross-examination. The people don't want to be asked questions, because now the government gets to ask questions and be wild and out there and do all the, well, that didn't you, and all this other kind of stuff. It wasn't gonna pan out well, and they was gonna go to hell to research these people. So nobody who can testify for me. Nobody who. I'm stupid. All right, so let's go to the next thing. It says, kidnapping does not occur if the victim consented. Consent may be withdrawn. Arson under California law means the conspirator set fire or caused the fire the fire willfully or maliciously. I thought that they took those things out. I know that they're mentioned as part of it was the attempted. That's what I was saying. They didn't remove anything, but the attempted ones they moved. So bribery of a witness under California law requires that a conspirator gave or promised to give a bribe to a person giving or about to give information to law enforcement to unlawfully influence it. So this is where they're arguing that they involve no cops in this incident. And so the tape that they're showing, it can't be considered bribery. He just didn't want it to get out and to the press and social media to protect his image. I'm like, wait, hold on a damn minute. So y'all want to he didn't want it to get out there because the same thing that just happened just now, he didn't want that to be out there because of that. So now when Cassie files a lawsuit and then CNN drops it on him, now it's looking like, oh, wow, this is why you didn't want this tape to come out. But now she's saying that this is all the things that you did. You already went to social media and said, she lying. Let me get his voice.
She lied. This is a money grab. She owed me money. I want her to pay me back my $50,000 that I paid Alex to be her personal trainer. And now she effing him. I need my money back.
Yeah. So, they probably, let me see if something came out, y'all, before I go on head down. Because I'm going to be, okay. Has anything else come out in the city? I got to go back to see it. Child, let me see if they came out with something from the, okay, no. Okay, wait. Yes, they did. Okay, y'all, we got something new. Okay, so it says comfort. Let me make sure it's not something before this one. All right, so this one says, is it 5 yet? Okay, so they adjourned at 5. They said they were going to adjourn at 5. The jurors are not sequestered. And I think that was a big mistake. They definitely should be sequestered, or each juror should have had security outside of their homes tonight. People don't understand. And the judge allowed Diddy some alone time with his family, so he was able to touch them and everything. And I think that is very big of this judge to do so, because a lot of judges would have been like, no, he's an inmate. That no. But today he allowed the family, once the jurors were out, he put everybody out of the courtroom and allowed Diddy some private. Now, of course, they with marshals in it. He's not going to just leave from there, with no marshals. But ain't no telling, Diddy is slick. Ain't no telling what Diddy said. Find them goddamn jurors. Find them, I said. Be at the back door tonight dressed in all black. Just put the money in the brown paper bag. They know what it is. I wouldn't try. They should have been sequestered. If no other time, during the time of deliberations. This is the only mistake that I think that the judge made, was not sequestering this jury. I'm just telling you all because that's what it is. Okay, so because in inner city, shout out to Inner City Press, because he deals with a lot of foolishness in his comments over there on Twitter. So I read that to you, and then it came out here. He said he tried his best, because somebody asked him, did the jury send out a plea deal agreement? Child, this is why, sit down and learn something. Oh, well, he asked, the person's asking the question, so that's one step in the right direction. He asked the question. All right, so let's go. Are they sequestered? So she's asking, are they sequestered now that they are deliberating? If not, they are probably ready to call it a day. and that shouldn't be. The jurors are not sequestered, he told her. They are now in charge of their schedule. Judge Romanian told them. I think that, yeah, they should not. I thought he said that they were going to go to 5, and they said that, July 3rd, some people consider July 3rd and 4th the holiday. So he said that if they didn't have a verdict yet, if they didn't come back with a verdict yet, he was going to open up the court on July 3rd. So it says the judge confers with the government and let us know by 6 p.m. Let us know by 6 p.m. is if there is agreed language. But will that be in the docket as Intercity Press requested in week 1 and judge twice granted it? So Intercity Press, he be on it. He's sitting in the judge stuff like, hey, listen, is this going to be this? Is this going to be that? So they are going for the day. But I definitely believe. I think that these jurors should have been sequestered. It is just no other way. You know what? I am not doing this with whoever. But look at this, y'all. The internet is so undefeated. What, child? Let me just go. Gotta be a what's the name fan. Kendrick Lamar fan. Cha. Why they do Drake like that? All right, let's go over here because I just want to see, for myself, reading the how he explained the charges. So let's go. We are down here. So for RICO, okay, the interstate commerce, that's what we read. So that the defendants joined and committed at least 2 predicate acts. They only need 2 predicate acts for him to be charged with the RICO. So the U.S. must prove a mutual understanding to cooperate. You may infer its existence from the circumstances of this case. Actions may speak louder than words. You may consider the acts of all those you find to be participants. If you find that the Combs enterprise existed, oh, wait a minute. How do we get back up here? All right. So kidnapping does not occur if the victim consented. Okay. So Cassie did not consent to be brought to the London hotel. Listen, there you go. Bam. She did not consent after she got her face disfigured to be brought to the London hotel. In fact, she fled. She attempted to flee, but Roger Bonds chased her and brought her back, held her there, and then they checked her into the London hotel. There you are. So bribery of a witness. Okay, we did that already. So for witness tampering, violation 18 section 1512, it does not matter if the subject of the threat is in fact fearful. Only a threat is required, but it must be knowing. For forced labor requires use of force or use of force of physical restraint. A person may withdraw consent and it may become forced labor. Trafficking will have the same definition as in counts 2 and 4. And transportation to engage in prostitution, the same as counts 3 and 5. Next is distribution of narcotics, including this long word that you see here, knowingly and intentionally. Distribution means actual transfer to deliver to another person. It ain't say to people to sell and all that. No, it just the transfer to deliver to another person. This is why these people got immunity, because they were distributing, just picking up the D-rugs and bringing them to Diddy. They were distributing the D-rugs, whether we like it or not. So for possession, physical custody is not needed. Control is enough. So Diddy is the enterprise. And they said he had everything was laced. You see him sucking on a lollipop, laced. A Jolly Rancher, laced. Yeah, it's too much. RICO has a 5-year statute of limitation. You must find that it continued past 2019. If you find that the government had not proved this beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find the defendant not guilty. On trafficking, counts 2 and 4, transport means to take or convey from one place to another. Reckless disregard satisfies the statute. The deliberate closing of eyes. You must be unanimous on at least one specific instance of X trafficking. So if they agree on unanimously on one, he's guilty. So on counts 3 and 5, knowingly transporting or arranging for the transport. You see that? Knowingly transporting or, that's a big word right there, or arranging for the transportation of an individual for purposes of an act of prostitution. Diddy, you got to be more careful, and you got it in writing. Buying or arranging a ticket is enough. Child. Prostitution does not need to be the main purpose. You was I flew him out for his time, but when he got here, we did a little something. I paid him for his time. No, you paid him for the day. Yeah. Stop. So prostitution is engaging actual activity for money or its equivalent. You must be unanimous on at least one specific act of transportation with the intent to engage in prostitution. On venue, the U.S. must prove at least one act occurred in SDNY 8 counties. They got that. They have that. And people are saying anything because they don't want, well, like the young guy. I seen this guy, he's on, somebody that's out there taking footage of the outside the whole time like the trial is going on, right? A YouTuber. And this intelligent brother, he's very intelligent, seems to be, but then you're a little biased because you keep talking about, so why they only had 2 people? Why they only had 2 of the male escorts come and testify? Because they didn't need all that. They got what they needed. One of them in the New York area, and the other one in the New York area, and in California, and everywhere else. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? And then he's like, did you hear any of them get on the stand and say that they were going up? No, the male workers are not saying they were prostitutes. They think that being a male escort is a more sophisticated term. But once he paid them, they ain't nothing but some male prostitutes. Okay, let's call it what it was, or what it is. They ain't nothing but some hookers, minus the heels. Okay, so we are in the home stretch in weighing expert testimony. You should not accept it just because I allowed it. The testimony of government officials are not worth of more or less weight than any other witness. Witnesses given immunity should be examined with greater greater than ordinary witnesses. Charts and summaries, demonstrative aids are not evidence and will not be available to you in the jury room. Certain witnesses were permitted to be identified by pseudonyms that should bear on your evaluation of credibility. The defendant had no responsibility to testify, and he did not. You must not attach any significance to that. Voluntary intoxication may negate the intent requirement of RICO predicates. Uncalled witness, you have heard names of people not called as witnesses. Each side had an equal opportunity to call them. Judge, you better say that. You better say that. Call it out. Call it out on the carpet. Do not speculate or consider this. Y'all know why he's saying that. Because Agnafilo, you got up there and acted the fool, so he came in here today with all his bases covered. Any notes you took are only for you. No outside reading. You are to consider only what was presented within the 4 walls of this courtroom, and they ain't. That's why you should have sequestered them. That's the only issue I have with this judge. Why isn't this jury sequestered? Do you know who we are dealing with here? You know why you didn't give him a bail, because he was the last one to revoke the third bail request. And you know why you did not give him a bail. And people want to talk about, oh, well, the apricot meat. Well, I'm not going to use that because I'm a little bothered by that. So I'm not, that's not a good. But anyway, someone else that was charged with these charges, but they were given bail. They were not reaching out to witnesses. He called that girl that he thought they was going to use. The girl was in dirty money 50 something times. 50 something times. That's not a part of this case because they didn't call her. Duh, they didn't call her, but that's one of the reasons why they went and got him. He called that girl 50 something times from the vicinity of that hotel the day they arrested him. Not knowing she may have been spoken to, but they wasn't going to use her for this case. You already said on a public platform that you didn't see Puffy do anything wrong. So I don't think they wanted to use you anyway. So yeah, that was why they picked him up. He was contacting people, calling people. And then you want us to believe that you called Mia and you ain't mean nothing by that. You had D-Rock call Mia, so what? He wasn't working for you anymore. Was anybody working 54 times, you believe? I know it was 50 something he called that girl. And people need to start, listen to what's going on instead of just out here trying to make a way to find him not guilty from the gate without listening to the evidence. But people don't value women. A lot of people don't value women, and they still with the women don't have rights. And because people are failing to realize, like, if he would have was just dating Cassie, not involving any of these males, and paid them, he wouldn't be here with his camera focused on the males. With his camera focused on the males. Child, I said the government is petty. But that's what they said. I guess that's what they had to look at. They wanted to make sure that the jury and the people in the gallery and the people in the United States of America knew. And the people that's watching from all around the world on the YouTube streets, on the Twitter, that he had the camera trained on the male paid workers. So when the day that they was getting ready to, they had a motion was filed and they was going to argue the motion, he decided that he would spend his time, would be more valuable if he was able to look at the freak off tapes. So he can point out to them where they enjoyed it. I would have brought that up in closing. That would have been in my closing argument, for sure. You're making a big deal how you need to be in here for everything else, but when they bring out these, I'm gonna need to watch the freak off tapes, so I can point out to y'all what she enjoyed it right here. No, I'm gonna need to watch it all, even when I had the camera on the male piece or two. I'ma definitely need to see that. Because on the side, on the corner, I left a piece of her leg in there. I would have used that during, I definitely would have said that in my closing. I'm sorry. So you may not communicate about this case, including on X, Instagram, or YouTube. If you see this, tell my deputy. What? Any notes you took are only for no outside reading. You are to consider only what was presented within the four walls of this courtroom. You may not communicate about this case. Okay, so the jurors can't communicate about this case. I just wanted to make sure Judge Romania, because we are doing around the clock coverage here on the YouTubes, and that's just what it is. Okay, so do not be swayed by bias, including implicit bias. These hidden thoughts can impact what we hear and see and how we remember it. You will now retire to consider the case. Each of you must decide the case for himself or herself. After deliberating, your verdict must be unanimous. If you are divided, do not report the specifics. Your foreperson will send out any notes and any verdict. Any communication with the court should be in writing. The alternates do not have to be here, but give your phone number to my deputy. That was dope of him to be like, hold on, y'all alternates, we may need y'all. Y'all can't talk yet. We may need y'all. And bam, there it is. They may need to switch out the alternate for juror number 25. I don't think that they've made a decision on that yet. But by 6 o'clock, the language needs to be sent to the judge for what I'm understanding, right? And Mark Agnafilo is trying to, oh no, leave them. They just started. We definitely don't want, they just started going back to the jury room because it doesn't matter. We want to know what issues is the juror having applying the law as I explained it to him to this case, or why he's not considering. Does he not understand, or he's just not willing, or I forgot the third one he said. And so of course the defense wants to continue to use this to muddy the waters, and the judge is like, not that fast. We're not doing all that you're talking about, Agnafilo. That's what he should have said, but that's not how he said it, but that's what he said. So it says, do not read any news reports to this trial. If there were to be any, please accept my heartfelt gratitude for your service over the past 2 months or even more. My deputy will provide my personal contact information. I could give you a tour of the courthouse. Okay, the alternates leave. Here is the verdict sheet. Only if you find the defendant guilty of count 1, answer as to each predicate, not proved or proved. And did X trafficking involve X trafficking of Cassie or Jane? Count 2, 3, 4, 5, not guilty or guilty. Are y'all ready? How we feeling about the case? I like Majesty. Majesty, I'm going to have to give you a little follow over there. I don't be on Twitters like that, but okay. So the judge says, from now on, your schedule is your own. You will be provided with meals. Now the marshal will swear you in. Now the jurors can head back into the jury room. All rise. What? We object to including the subject lines of the BlackBerry messages like, I am so, child. They got a problem with everything. And it says, it is common for exhibits to include subject lines. BlackBerry messages are more akin to emails than to text messages. Judge, let's have only neutral lists go to the jury. I'll trust the parties to provide an appropriate laptop to the jurors. I'm going to stick around for a bit, but we'll just stay here as long as they wish to deliberate. At the end of the day, we'll bring them in. I appreciate the collegiality on both sides in this case. Anything before we adjourn? Comey says no. Can we go to another floor of the courthouse? He said, just give us your cell phone number. All right. And so he adjourned. And then, all right, so let's read this note really quick. It says that we have received a note from the jury. Yeah, girl, what are you doing? We have received a note from the jury. They have elected juror number 5 as the foreperson. It is signed by juror number 5. And there is agreements on the laptop. It will be taken into them. Now we'll have a longer break. They're adjourned. During this court adjournment, at least for now, Sean Combs is still in the courtroom. Family members are staying in a second room. Combs goes back to speak with them, holding his hand behind his back, then back to the table, staring at a laptop. So they let him go back to speak to his family. Update, as we said, we would have happened now between jury notes. Sean Combs has been taken back into the holding cell. At the defense table, his lawyer Driscoll is typing away on his laptop. There's something here that I want to read. That's why I'm going to keep going. So Sean Combs is back in the courtroom. His lawyers are huddled behind him in discussion. There has been a jury note. We have received a note from the jury. We have a juror number 25, who we believe cannot follow your instructions. I would like to meet with the court about it. I suggest I ask for more information. May we have a moment to digest what Your Honor has proposed? This is very sensitive. I suggest we just tell them it is early. You are just getting started. If there is a further issue, please let us know. That's Agnephilo because he thinking that's a rogue juror just going rogue. He think that's going to help for them. Comey says if we go that route, we suggest instructing the jurors it is important not to include any information about what is going on in the jury room. We are looking at United States versus Baker. They confer on a response. The judge says it's 1:48. See if you can come to an agreed upon note. I'll come back at 2 p.m. and we'll figure this out. Inner City Press has looked back at the jury selection since the rules in this trial have been left so unclear. So I want to. Okay, so while still waiting in the case, Comey cited United States versus Baker. Removal of juror who refused to participate in deliberations as required by her obligations as a juror, despite the rule of Thomas for Baker. The judge comes in and says, do we have an agreed upon response? Agnephilo says, no, we do not. And Comey says, Ms. Slavic has emailed it to Chambers. Not in the docket. Judge, do we have the defense proposal? She says it will be in Ms. Slavic's email. I would prefer to he would prefer to have a neutral response like the government's draft response. That's the one I'll use. I'll put it on the court's letterhead. There is no suggestion the juror will not follow instructions. So our proposal is more inert. I don't want to suggest to the jury that there is any particular time they must deliberate. I don't want to tell them that they just started. I'm going with the government's version. We will print that out and send it in. Adjourned. So then Sean Combs has been brought back into the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals. His lawyers are gathered around looking at a piece of paper. We have 2 notes from the jury. If an individual asks for a controlled substance and the person hands it over, it is distribution. It's a distribution. And the second says they will end at 5 p.m. I suggest we respond by pointing to the jury charge. We have a response to the question, but if the jury wants to leave, let's do that first. We have a response too, Agnephilo says. Let's bring out our jury and I'll discharge them for the day. All rise. Per the jury's request, it's now 5 p.m., so we'll excuse you for the day. Your question, we'll answer you tomorrow morning. I am not going to bring you into the courtroom tomorrow morning. You just come in and start at 9. Ms. Comey, I think the answer should say yes. Then point them back to the instruction. I would like a little more time to discuss it with the team. My initial reaction is that is not our proposal. Confer with the government and let us know by 6 p.m. If there is agreed language. But will that be in the docket? Oh, yes. So that's what he's saying. Adjourned. And so that is basically it until tomorrow. So, yeah, I think that based on that, I'm thinking that they are going to have a verdict by tomorrow based on what we just looked at. That's just my thoughts. I think that they're going to have a verdict by tomorrow. So, depending on whether my mother does a switcheroo, because she likes to do a little switcheroo, she's supposed to be going tomorrow to see if she can resume, and more than likely, like she goes on. Oh, wait a minute, did I miss hold on, y'all. Hold on, did I miss a? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something here? All right, let me like it so I'll know that okay. So, yeah, depending on, because normally it's Tuesday, so she's been home for, like 4 days. So she'll probably go tomorrow. So I may go live in the morning. She'll probably go tomorrow, and then I have to be, going into her by, 1 o'clock or 1:30. So you think the verdict will be on Wednesday? I think it's going to be tomorrow. I think they're so close. I think they're close already. I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation, but if I think Tuesday, Ali thinks Wednesday. Yeah. So if in the morning my mother says like, oh, I didn't go, then I have to shoot on over to her. What I need to do is charge either my iPad or my Mac laptop. And then I'll be able to go live, but I'll just be an avatar. But when I'm there, I'm busy, like almost the whole time. Like when I went live earlier, it was just like an on the spot thing with my phone. And that was, I had just made her something to eat. So that was like in the middle of, yeah. But anyhow, that is it. We're hoping for a verdict soon. Hope the jury does the right thing. People need to realize that just because you are powerful and you have money, you don't get to treat people the way you want to. And just because you have money doesn't mean that people should bow down to you like you are God and do whatever it is you say. Kiss the ring, whatever you want to call it. And you don't have the right to treat people this way. And this will also, send a, well, I'm not saying that they're doing this to send a message, but what I'm saying is this will send a message to his male children that what he taught you is wrong. Because don't two of y'all have cases now? Christian still got the case looming over him. And y'all, did y'all listen to the music that Christian and Kanye put out the other day? Christian, Ken Combs, whatever they calling you, come down here. So I come down here and get somebody get this. I don't even beat my kids. I don't believe in that because that was taught during slavery. But I'm gonna be somebody get the tag on the strap. God, boy, you singing about pals and stuff, talking about get the rifle. Didn't they pick up a rifle when they did the raid? You was the one that put out the song about the government before. And if you think that these people are not looking and paying attention to everything you're doing, they are. Because the major news stations reported on this. It's not a good look, Christian. And you dropped this album with Kanye. And what bothers me even further, they got, child, y'all pray for Northwest. Pray for North. Pray for North, pray for North, pray for North. Child, North, I'm gonna need you to send some smoke signals and everything out. If you need help, if you need rescuing. But didn't they say Kim called? Did Kim get a court order or something? Listen, pray for Northwest because her father got her all in the mix of this dumb stuff. You want to put out hate speeches and stuff like that, and all, he belongs to the people that wears swastikas. Now we denounce him. We don't want him over here. We don't do all that prejudice stuff. People are people. Respect people. Listen, nobody can say now that him being tossed out of places is because he's a black man. No. Spotify tossed his behind off their platform, as they should have. As they should. He took all of his merchandise off of their website and left one t-shirt with a swastika on it for sale. He better blame it on Through the Wire. He better blame it on because you listen. They said I wasn't right when I had the accident. When I laid in the hospital and made the song Through the Wire, I ain't been right since then. Because you got to be foolish. Walking around here with a half, she ain't even half, she just bucket naked. And they're supposed to be separated. I don't believe that. I don't know. So every day is something different. They separated, they together. Then you see them walking hand in hand. Now get that out of here. Get that out of here, AOBD. Ain't no way in the world that you voting for that. I would not vote for Ye for president. He is out of control. He needs to be reeled back in. He go 1 week from child. I can't. Some of the stuff that he talk about should not even be spoke about on these social media streets. People got to tell me when Kanye is doing something because I refuse to follow him. He was having relations with his cousin. In the chat, I said, y'all, tell me what he do next. Tell me what he do next. I don't want to hear about that. Tell me what he do next if it's worth if it's worth anything. Tell me. So you got King Cole, you got a shout out to Ye for giving this young man a platform and helping him. When everybody else won't. And I don't blame them. Listen. Nobody can tell me that they would be running into this with open arms. Nobody can tell me that. Ye is on a whole nother level. He is on a whole nother level of Delulu. So this is why, and it makes him look like he cares for Diddy's children. Is that the truth, or is this some type of publicity, stunt, something to, help him in a financial way? It definitely is keeping his name out there, keeping him relevant. So, it could be used as a twofer. I'm going to help these boys out. Let him have like the creative, let him get his creative on. Because his father won't, because his father want to be all in the record, all on the song and stuff like that. I'm going to give him your creative freedom. Let it out. You want any features? So, yeah, but, I'm going to just make sure that, Northwest eat. Now, the song that Northwest is on, I'm going to say, it's not bad. It's not too bad. It's not. It's him, Northwest, and it's somebody else. Yes, thank you, AOBD, your favorite painter, whoever you are today. I don't know how many days you're going to be your favorite painter. But there you go right there. Thank you, AOBD, for saying Kanye is playing media games. He definitely is. He showed up to the courtroom. What? He was there for 8 minutes or something? In the overflow room, not even in the main courtroom. They like, yo, Diddy, Kanye is here. They say he was sitting in the back of the overflow room like, because they told him, oh no, over there. So yeah, Kanye is definitely playing media games, and it's about his bread because it's going to keep him relevant. It's going to keep people talking about him, whatever it is, because whatever he's not selling on Shopify, if he has a personal website, he could probably definitely be selling that stuff on there. However, it is not helping anybody at this time. Becca said, hi, your favorite painter. I don't know, AOBD. Somebody having a trial about paint. I want to know what at your favorite painter is. Because, never mind. Never mind, AOBD. Never mind. I forgot. Never mind. I don't know. I know what you told us. That that's either your handle or whatever. They don't know why they're not showing we got it, but I don't want to know. Never mind. Ciao. So anyway, so that is it. So, if I hear any news about anything else, maybe I'll come back, or I am going to be looking at something that we might be looking at. So who knows? So I'm going to end the show like I always do by bringing awareness that men get breast cancer too. Because of the stigma surrounding the word breast, we have changed the word to chest and or pec cancer over here. So let's continue to break the stigma and keep spreading the word that men get breast cancer too. And to all of my ladies, please make sure that you are getting your mammograms, filling on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. All right. And don't you dare let anybody come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. You painting cars? Gotcha. That's a good one. Okay. We safe. Because I don't know with you. AOBDB. Okay. Great. So, I'm Survivor Speaks. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for rocking out with me and all of my foolishness. And once again, before we go, I do need to bring this back up and say thank you to everybody that subscribed and made this possible. And that means all of you that are watching here today, just because you have been a subscriber for a long time, you still made this happen with us and for us. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to Baby A for being the channel sponsor for the show today. Make sure you hug Baby A for us here. And thank you for stopping by. And please don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Is it to the right? Yeah, it should be to the right of the like button. That's a free way to support the show. You have a blessed evening as well. Rebecca, I'm glad to see that you are here. And I will check you guys out later. Thank you for stopping by. Peace.
Survivor Speaks is the name at the end of the day. People love me or hate me, I don't care either way. Breast cancer busted through like a leaf in the night. A cancer's ass was knocked out before the end of the fight. A cheer for y'all coming through, knocking everything out. Just if you see, I do nothing for clout. Just like cancer, I'll let nothing take me out. So be respectful when you step foot inside of my house. Or prepare to have your ass escorted on out. So hop up out the bushes, grab your feet, take a seat, and get comfortable and chill with your girl. Survivor Speaks, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Who, what? I'm Survivor Speaks. What time is it? What time is it? It's time for you to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time that I go live. Yeah.